Hayden, what did it mean for you to get that 12? What was the conversation like? And yeah, what does that mean to you?
Well, the conversation was more one-ended, I would say. Once I found out, it's kind of a weird thing to say, like, thank you for, like, appreciate the honor in the moment. I said this the other day, but it's a really hard thing to appreciate when it happens. I think it's when it got released and I kind of heard the response and what it meant to some people. The fact that it was me, that was so cool to me because it's really hard to see from an inward perspective. So it's just been overwhelming in the best possible way. I'm just really grateful that I've only been here now a little over a year, and that response I got and how much I care for this university, and it seems like people know that I care for this university. It's been pretty dang awesome. So,
having Troy around, another guy who wore the 12, is that something you all had a conversation about at all, or?
Yeah, he gave me a nice slap on the behind when he found out I got it. It was great. We like have talked about it almost every day since we joke about it. But I mean, when you talk to Troy, you understand why he got that number and what this school means to him. So I think just another really good dude. I mean, I could list every one of the 12s and talk about how I've gotten to know them. So same thing with this team. There's probably 15 other guys in that locker room that could have gotten it, and everyone would have been super proud of them. So I think it's just a testament to our coaching staff, this university, and just the people that we have around this program. So pretty cool.
Coach Early said that it was kind of a nonchalant thing. It wasn't like some big reveal, and a lot of it was because of all your teammates. It was kind of unanimous that they picked you. So what did that kind of mean, and how did he exactly tell you?
Well, he told me over the phone, but we both kind of were on the same wavelength that it wasn't supposed to be, like, I guess, about me in a huge sense. So we didn't, like, the whole reveal and everything, that just wasn't really in the cards because we didn't want to make it a whole one-person thing because it's more of a whole team thing. There's a reason that I said, and he probably could say the same thing, that there's a lot of guys in that locker room that could wear it and represent the school in that way. So I think the goal is not to make it a huge deal, to understand the value and the meaning behind it, but not make it about one person. It's about the number on the back, right? Not the person who's wearing it. So that was the main goal behind it.
When you got here last year, did you envision just the way you kind of immerse yourself with the school and the fans and the program?
This is so weird seeing some of you. I haven't seen you since like Omaha. This is pretty great. Let's go. Well, did I expect it? Not really, honestly. Like, I guess that's just part of being around a community of people who, number one, are really welcoming and make you feel welcome. I think when you ask people about A&M, that's one of the first things they tell you is that you feel at home right away. So I think I felt that within the first week. I think I've said that in an interview. So I think that is the one reason why I've been so acclimated to it. And then I love being around people. I love being around like-minded people who want to win in the right way. And I like people who like sports and like school. Like everything about the spirit of Aggieland has just been super similar to my values. So I think that's helped a lot and helped me get acclimated with this place.
And then obviously, some of the freshmen and transfers have now spent a full 6-8 months with y'all. Just how have you seen them kind of gel with the rest of you?
Oh, really good. I think it's kind of like last year where it's a seamless transition between transfers, guys who have been here, new guys, whatever it is. It just kind of clicks, and it's hard to explain something like that, and it's not something that you can copy and paste year to year, right? It's not, you don't have one guy who's in that locker room who makes it happen. You don't have 5 guys. It's just kind of, sometimes it works, and it's usually just combining the right people, and it seems like we have that this year, but everyone's always really tight-knit until you start playing baseball games. So winning helps the foundation a lot, so we're hoping to do a lot of that.
How you take your coffee?
Well, this one is called a long. Shout out Caleb Longley, that beautiful new head coach we have, not head coach, assistant coach. He goes 3 shots of espresso, little bit of water, so you kind of get that bitterness taste a little bit. It's dark espresso beans. You can't have any of that light, like tangerine zest stuff. None of that. So it's good. It kind of gives me a really bad coffee breath. I don't know if you can smell that right now. Okay. Well, okay. I've gotten that negative response a lot. But really dark. I like mine really dark, and I want to taste the fact I'm drinking coffee. I don't want to taste like I'm drinking half and half creamer. You know what I mean? That's what my sister does. So, yeah.
Are you about the only guy that drinks coffee as a player on this team, or are there other guys?
No. It's not an age thing. I've been doing this since I was like 16. I blame my parents actually, but. No, there's other guys who drink coffee. I think I'm the only one who drinks coffee after like 11:30 a.m. Because I usually drink it till like 5 p.m. usually. Sometimes before bed. It's actually kind of like NyQuil sometimes too.
Speaking of that,
Call me crazy.
What are you looking forward to most in this last collegiate go-around?
Well, I thought it was last year. Honestly, I thought that was the last round. So you never know. So don't mark my words. But I just winning and being a part of a team. I mean, being a part of a team is like the greatest thing in the world, I think. Like whether it's sports, whether it's work, whatever it is, I think being a part of a community and a team is the greatest thing. It's really good for everything in your life. It gives you a passion. So number one, that, and then winning ball games. Obviously, I mean, coming up one game short is. I'd like to say I expected that last year to make it to the national championship game, but it takes a lot of luck to get to that game because it's baseball. It's a hard game and stuff happens. So now that we've gotten to that point, the only thing to do is now win the last game of the year. So that's what we're trying to do.
How do you guys handle the expectations of being number one in all the preseason polls?
Well, number one, we like it. I think a lot of teams shy away from it, and a lot of coaches would tell their teams to shy away from it and just kind of block it out as noise. But it's kind of fun because when you're number one, you do have that target on your back, and everyone knows you're number one in the baseball world, and they want to beat you, and everyone thinks it's not likely for a number one team to actually end up being the number one at the end of the year. But I think with how talented we are and how hard we work, I think it's a good target on our back. We like it. We like the fact that people want to beat us. That gives us a little more edge. So we love it. It's great.
You give Jace a hard time quite often, but just in all seriousness, what is it about him that makes him such an elite player?
I'm having to answer a lot of nice questions about Jace recently. This is tough, man. I said this the other day, but I think the beauty of Jace is when you have a guy, and it's not just Jace, you have a lot of high draft guys like Grahovac and Sorrell, like guys like that, and Kent, who, Prager, for example, like all of them, they all handle being that good better than anyone I've ever seen. They all have every right to be as selfish or as rude as they want to be just because they're that good. Honestly, you couldn't really tell them much. You'd still play them. You'd still have to play them because they're the best. And they just don't use that. They're so great as people, and you would never guess that they're as highly touted as they are when you talk to them. And I think that's the best praise you can get if you're one of those guys is you don't act like it, you play like it for sure, but you would never guess it talking to them. So I think that's the best possible praise you can give.
What did you learn from that you said probably wouldn't have expected to get as far as you did last year, but just what did you learn from that experience going to Omaha that you guys kind of collectively, are learning from or going to use this year?
Yeah. Well, I think number one, I learned that I'm probably not cut out for Major League Baseball. It was a lot of games, right? 70 plus. I don't know if I could rip 162, but I think you learn about the consistency of season is such an easy thing to say when you're doing it for a month, 2 months, but when you're playing that long and you play as good as we did that long, there's something special that you have to be able to do to play in that same way and have a locker room that doesn't resent each other. It kind of takes something special that you can't really explain. So you'd like to think that we're trying to do that this year, but you got to start playing before you find out if you can do that, and then you kind of work from there. So you kind of learn as you go, every year, because every year is completely different. There's no copy and paste, like I said earlier. So
some of the pitchers that you faced so far from this team, who stood out so far?
Well, we have a serious problem. Number one is I haven't faced anyone because I was out all fall. But I did, fortunately, get to watch quite a bit from the side. There is some new guys who look quite good. Gavin Lyons, freshman, remember the name, pretty dang good. And then you have some transfer guys like Miles Patton, like Grant, who just have this aura on the mound, like they've played a lot of baseball before, just like any good pitcher has. So I think there's a lot of people have been talking about our lineup just because of the sheer amount of names in it. But our staff is nothing to not talk about. It's going to be pretty impressive. So we're excited, what you need to be a good ball club. So.
What difference have you seen just not being hampered by the knee anymore?
Wait, are you asking if I still feel it?
No.
Okay, I was going to say yes, but continue.
Oh, maybe the difference in your game. Now
Oh, the difference in my game.
now that you're not dealing with that constantly.
Well, I'm supposed to be faster. That's jury's still out, but we'll see. The goal is for that to be the case. I still feel it, but I feel healthier than I have in a long time. I mean, dealing and playing with that for as long as I did last year, it just kind of became normal to me. So now having it not torn feels pretty dang good. So, but we start up, I believe, tomorrow when we'll be actually playing. So that'll be the real test. We'll see.
Is Careless Whisper going to make a return for the walk-up song, or you got something else up your sleeve?
Yeah, no, that's what's up my sleeve. Maybe I'll find something else that's maybe not as provocative to maybe back it up. Maybe every other bat or something. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see where my mind's at. But right now, we're going to stick with that as the default. I might call you later because I could use some ideas, and I don't want to go basic here. I'm thinking like something weird, different time frame, maybe like early 2000s. I don't know. We'll talk, but we'll figure it out. But we'll come up with a second one.
I thought you liked Last Christmas. Is that-
Oh, I think it's just as beautiful. It's the only Christmas song I can listen to in like April, other than Michael Bublé's whole entire Christmas album. But it's just so elite. It feels like I could be in my house at Christmas Eve or in a club on Christmas Eve listening to the same song. Not that I go to clubs, but just saying if I were to, I would listen to that song in both.
Any more questions? All right. Thanks,
Thanks, man.
Fire. Yep, good.